Welcome back to Allianz Stadium. As you can see, the sun is now shining in Sydney. Temperature today forecast to reach around 20 degrees, and unfortunately the forecast is also for possible showers, but right now we would appear to be in no danger whatsoever. And I'd also suggest, Braith and Nasta, that the temperature here is a little warmer than 20 degrees as well. It should be a great contest today. Mounties and, of course, the side that they're taking on today. Yeah,
the Jets, mate. The Jets are in good form. They've won the last 3 games and be 4 in a row today. They're sitting in 9th position, so a win today gets them into the top 8 and probably turns their season around, but they're playing an accomplished team. The Mounties, I mean, they're sitting in 3rd position, pushing for minor premiership. Actually, they've been in good form.
Here's the competition ladder at the completion of 11 rounds. It was a fairly lacklustre start by Newtown in 2014, but they have strung a few wins together, just perched outside the 8, as you can see there. For Mounties, 8 victories so far in season 2014. They've been very strong. Of course, Mounties, the feeder club to the Canberra Raiders, and in case you're not aware, Newtown, the feeder to the Sydney Roosters. Now, in terms of the Newtown side, a massive pack of forwards, and Willie Meehan is certainly a player worth watching today. Just 18 years of age. He's about 128 kilos, Braith, and considered to be one of the rising stars in the front row ranks in the premiership.
Yeah, keep an eye on him. The number 8 Meehan, I mean, he's only 18 years of age, so it says a lot about him and the future that he does have in the game, playing in New South Wales Cup today, so a great opportunity for him. We've got Kane Evans as well. He's one of the biggest humans in the NRL, let alone the New South Wales Cup, so he gets his opportunity in the lock position. As you said, they do have a big forward pack, and let's see how they go today.
There's been just the one change to the Jets ahead of kick-off, with Brad Barrett coming into the back row wearing jumper 20. He's a very good player. Josh Davis back in the centres wearing jersey number 3. Big, strong player who can also slot into the back row. I've alluded to the youngster Meehan. Well, Ryan Verlinden, the other front rower, is a massive human being as well. They're coached by Greg Maddison, and a short while ago I caught up with Heath Lestrange. Well, Heath, after a slow start to the season, things have turned around for Newtown. You've won your last 3.
Yeah, mate, we've been going good the last couple of games. Starting to get a strong squad on the park. So, looking really good, and just happy to be on top again.
On paper today looks to be a terrific clash in the forward. Some big boppers out there.
Yeah, mate, yeah, that's how I like it. Just get behind the big boys, and hopefully we be a bit dominant like we've been in the last couple of weeks.
You'd be pleased with your own form too. You're getting out a dummy half and mixing your game up a fair bit.
Well, like I said, mate, it's more about the forwards. For my forwards to do their job, I'm allowed to do a little bit more. So if we get on top, we'll see how we go.
Best of luck today.
Cheers, Dave.
Braith and Nasta, Heath Lestrange, a player that's been around for a while now. I think he debuted in about 2004. Yeah. He provides great variety out of acting half. Is important for Newtown. He very seldom picks the ball up and passes. He's one of these dummy halves that runs somewhere.
And that's what you want. You want to create your dummy half. I've had the pleasure of playing with Heath a lot at the Roosters quite a while ago. Then he went over to England. He's come back. He's in good form. You want players in dummy half who've got good vision. He certainly has that. And he's got a good passing game. So he's been a good addition to Newtown so far this year.
I alluded earlier to the fact that Mounties joint venture with the Canberra Raiders. I reckon I'm correct in saying this is the 3rd season of this marriage, if you like, and it's been certainly successful from Canberra's perspective, and that's reflected by the fact that they've enjoyed a stellar season so far.
Well, you can always judge that by the success that they're having, and they're in good form. As you mentioned, they're in 3rd position and pushing for the minor premiership. They're only 2 points behind the Wentworthville Magpies, and this guy here, Leroy Lars, played a lot of first grade. He's a big boy, but when you look at this team, I like their outside backs. They've got some try scorers. Hawkins played a lot of Holden Cup, and they've got some speed on the edges.
Matt Allwood in the centres has played most of the season in first grade. In fact, the experienced Billy Tupou on the wing. Their halves are interesting. Ryan Carr in the 7 jersey has also played a stack of number 9 over the years, but they are formidable opponents today for Newtown. There is no doubt about that. And speaking of Tom Leroy Lars, I caught up with him a short time ago. Well, Tom, a good season for Mounties so far, 3rd in the competition, but a scare last weekend against the Bulldogs, who invited them back into it.
Yeah, no, we got off to a flyer last week, and I think, no disrespect to the Bulldogs, but I think we definitely let our guard down a bit in the second half and nearly bit us on the backside. So, we sort of, off the back of that, we know that we've got to get off to a good start of game, but we've also got to learn how to finish our matches. So.
In terms of your own situation, you copped a head knock last week and were in some doubt, I understand, during the week, but you've obviously come through the relevant testing with flying colours.
Yeah, I always battle those tests at the best of times, so I surprised myself there. But, it was, just, I guess, one of those ones where he got me right on the button. And, I can't remember much of the game, but, passed all the tests, and I feel great now, so that's good.
Big physical test today. Some massive front rowers opposing yourself and Mark.
Yeah, it's good. I think Heath alluded to it, that, the battle's in the middle, and that's obviously the challenge that confronts us. So, just like they'll be looking to get on top, we'll be looking to do the same. So, I'm ready for the battle.
Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, thank you.
Yes, there he is, Tom Leroy Lars. 4 State of Origin appearances for New South Wales and 4 Test matches. A lot of people surprised he's in the New South Wales Cup, and I've got to say I'm one of those. Having seen a bit of vision of him this year, he's very solid. He's ripping in.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I'm surprised too. He's played a lot of first grade, obviously played at the highest level for New South Wales, and he's been in good form this year for the Mounties, so he'll be pushing for a first grade spot today.
Number of good battles across the park this afternoon, as is always the case. No exception is the clash of the lock forwards. I refer to Kane Evans and, of course, his opposite, Langi Setu, and they'll both play big roles for their sides today.
They will. A huge matchup. Kane Evans, he's had a few opportunities for the Roosters in first grade. He'll be a veteran of the game. I've got no doubt about that. I've watched him for a long time. He's a very big boy. He runs the ball hard, and he's got a lot of skill, as you can see here. He's quite creative. He's got a great offload. He loves to offload the ball in amongst the defensive lines, and he's a good defender, as you'll see here. So, Kane Evans definitely offers a lot to Newtown. And Setu's a great player. He's had 71 game experience in the NRL at the top of his game. He runs really good lines on the edges of his ruck and can also create opportunities. And as you can see there, he's a fine defender and a really solid hitter as well.
Yeah, he could well be the X factor on the edges today for Mounties as they face Newtown in this round 12 VB New South Wales Cup clash from Allianz Stadium. And of course, you're going to see it live right here on Australia's Sports Leader. Your tip today, it's a tough one.
It is a tough one. I think Verlinden, Meehan and Evans in the forward pack for Newtown a little bit too strong for the Mounties, and I'm just going to lean towards them for 4 in a row for Newtown.
For the first time in 10 years, I agree with you. We'll now take a break. Stay with us, won't you, as Wild Turkey Bourbon Super Saturday will continue shortly.
Reach out with your hands.
We're enjoying brilliant sunshine at Allianz Stadium and the Newtown faithful here supporting their beloved Jets. Great to see this jersey and emblem still alive in the New South Wales Cup. And they come into this match today against Mounties with a really good opportunity of stringing their 4th win together in succession. Referee for this clash, by the way, is Liam Nichols this afternoon. Braith, a little hard to establish how good Newtown were last weekend against Illawarra. They won by a big score, but Illawarra's defence very ordinary.
Yeah, it was. So we'll get a bit better indication today of how Newtown are travelling. Also missing Mortimer, who was in the side last week and was really instrumental in their victory as well.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Mortimer at first receiver the entire game. So underway here, and Willis Meehan, whom I alluded to in our pre-game segment, the number 8 for Newtown. About 129 kilograms, I'm told, just 18 years of age. Scary. And the Jets' first use of the football, 12 on their own side of halfway. And this is a tremendous opening set by the Jets. That having been said, Mounties equal to the task defensively. Oh, Heath Lestrange makes an uncharacteristic error. And referee Nichols says play on. Mounties early touch.
It had been a great set of 6 to start the match off too. Meehan started it. Kane Evans was finishing it there with a top run, but Lestrange a little bit too enthusiastic at dummy half and comes up with the error.
Kane Evans and Barrett combining in defence. Early in Mounties' first set, Tom Leroy Lars winding up those massive legs. Tackled by Heath Lestrange. Great chance for the visitors early. Pangai Jr. tearing down that eastern corridor. So Newtown and their defence to be tested early in this game as Mounties come open to Matt Place and now onto the chest of Langi Setu, who got it away to Ager. With a razzle-dazzle here by Mounties. Now the back rower, Pangai Jr. And Newtown has the ball. It's been taken by Brett Lane. And it'll be a line dropout, Braith and Astor, but tremendous surge by Mounties. Good scrambling defence, Newtown.
Yeah, it was a good ball from Agar to throw the pass out. You'll see the ball out wide there to Pangai Jr. And he's about to be taken over the try line here, dead in goal. And unfortunately, Lane rakes the ball off him late. And it was probably the wrong decision because Pangai Jr. would have been thrown in a touch and it would have been 7 tackles to the Newtown Jets.
Only one team has scored more points than Mounties in 2014. It's the premiership leading Wentworthville. Magpies have scored 370. Mounties just 6 shy of that with 364. So plenty of potency in attack. Into acting half is Matt McKilrick. Now through the hands, Leroy Lars again, and commanding plenty of attention in the centre of the ruck. Kane Evans down low. 2 across the top, so Mounties with good field position once again. McKilrick and then on to place, and here's the fullback Ager. He's been busy in the game already, and he's driven into the ground by Arana Tamata over on the far side. Now back to Matt Place. Setu thought about passing, put his head down, and 3 Jets swoop on him. He's about 4 metres out as they play it. Newtown will dig deep here as Ager, his 3rd touch of the game. Sam Cassiano's young cousin to his feet. That is tackle 5. Carr, low grubbing kick. Newtown safe at the back. The efforts of Jonathan Rubin, who himself was a former Raider.
Yeah, not the best kick from Carr. Rubin read it well. As you mentioned, he is from the Raiders. He's played a lot of Holden Cup, scored a lot of tries, so he's playing against his mates today as Kane Evans comes up with an error in his own end.
Gee, I'm surprised. It looked like a strip initially. Here's Matt Allwood coming away with it for Mounties. Rubin.
There's huge numbers left.
Yeah, combining with Josh Davis in defence. Mounties will exploit it. Carr out to Pangai. Pangai, the ball comes out loose to the winger, Billy Tupou, and he'll be driven into touch western side. You could see it coming. He was in a lot of trouble there, Billy Tupou.
He was, and Pangai should have held the pass. He pushed the pass a little bit too early. Passed the ball into Tupou when he was too close to the sideline, taken over. And unfortunately, first tackle for the Mounties, they come up with an error. And they had beautiful field position, a great opportunity. And as you can see here, Tupou just way too close to the sidelines as the Newtown Jets force him over.
Mounties are going to get the ball back, though Braith, he's ruled on the basis of the first knock-on by Newtown. So Mounties breathing a sigh of relief. Newtown thinking not again. Here we are. Campton, our own 10, with it all to do. No score after almost 4.5 minutes. It's been all Mounties. McKilrick, centre field, driven back by Ryan Verlinden. And Heath Lestrange into acting half is Mark Nichols, himself a giant human being. Stepping is Matt Place, then a dummy. Lestrange and Verlinden stop him in his tracks. McKilrick at acting half. What will Mounties come up with? They go to Carr. He goes back towards the centre. Can we get a pass away here? No. Newtown get the job done through Kane Evans. Still massive pressure for the Jets. The ball is now on the ground and picked up. Is it play on? This will be a Mounties try. And it looks like they're going to give it. Pangai Jr. is the try scorer. And Liam Nichols, referee, points to the spot. It'll be 6-0 in a moment. He scored behind the uprights.
I'd love to see this one again on the replay. Place, you'll see, throws the ball out wide. Long ball here to Moses Pangai. Does he knock that ball on or not? We'll have to get a little bit of a better angle on that. We'll see here from the front on camera angle. He throws a long ball. Ooh, we can't tell. Tamata reaches out for the ball. He definitely touches it. But does Moses Pangai?
Pangai Jr. around behind the uprights. So everything going Mounties' way. I'm sure the Newtown supporters would agree with those sentiments.
They're definitely a little bit lucky there. I mean, they've been going to that right-hand side to start the match with Place and Pangai Jr. He's been running some really good lines on the edges of the ruck, but a bit questionable whether he touched that or not. Either way, they've got the first 4-pointer of the game.
So from right in front, Place will get the extras. 6-0 to Mounties over the Newtown Jets. Of course, Newtown premiers in this competition a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, they were. They had a great season. I think it was back in 2012.
You are correct.
They've been instrumental in this New South Wales Cup competition. I always love watching Newtown play. And this guy here, Tamata, he's been in a number of clubs, and it was in the papers yesterday that he's been given another opportunity. And he seems to be taking it so far this season for the Newtown Jets.
It's good that you allude to the journeyman nature of his career. Quick tally before we came on air today. I came up with 7 clubs he's been in.
Yeah, he has. He's had a fair few clubs and probably left on bad terms at quite a few of them. So
that would be a fair comment.
He owes a lot to the game.
This is Moses Pangai, left centre for Mounties, and has lost that cold. Looking at the ref, appealing for some help, but it was never going to be forthcoming.
Here we are.
So something going right for the Jets now. It's important they capitalise.
No doubt about it. I mean, they haven't really seen the football, and when they have, they've made errors early on in the match, and they've come up with some good defence then. Toto Mongo, I've played a lot of footy with him. He's a great player. Keep an eye on him, the number 5 for the Newtown Jets today. Defended well then on the Mounties, but as we said, their coach Trent Robertson and Peter Sullivan there, the recruitment officer for the Roosters, waiting for the first grade game against the Raiders, but an opportunity for Newtown nonetheless.
First time they've seen the Mounties 30-metre area. What can they do with it? Here's a Reuben. He has speed to burn. Seems to be fitting in well to the fullback role. Just 21 years of age. Former Raiders NYC player. Now in the headgear, it's David Harris. A couple of clubs, including the Tigers. Solid 110% style player. Now to the chest of Willis Meehan. This gargantuan. Look at the leg drive on him, will you? And he's stopped a metre out from the line by Matt McKilrick in a big tackle. Now it comes to Kurt Cara. And tackled in possession. Good work, Jake Foster for Mounties. Now again, Meehan taking them on. 3 Mounties there. Hold him up. Tackle 5, little kick through, and catch at the back by the Mounties 7, Ryan Carr. And the referee is going to put a scrum down.
A little bit lucky from Lestrange. He jumped down the right-hand side and put a little kick in. I mean, there's been an error from the Mounties, and Newtown Jets had huge numbers to the right-hand side. I thought they were going to run the ball, but Lestrange jumps out, as you can see, puts a little kick through, and unfortunately for Carr, comes up with the smallest of knock-ons, but another opportunity again for the Newtown Jets.
Wild Turkey Bourbon Super Saturday. Continuing from Allianz. NRL, of course, still to come today. As we see Tamata drifting across field. Looked a bit dangerous. Allwood smothered him in defence. Now big Ryan Belinda winding it up, hurling himself at the line. He too has been in a lot of clubs, including the Sharks and the Bears. Now Meehan, Cara, away on the outside. Danger here as Monga gets himself involved, and now to Reuben. Reuben held up by a couple of Mounties players. Mounties on the rack, big time. And now Meehan to the line. They turn him around and drive him back. That is wonderful Mounties defence. He's the biggest player in rugby league. They did well. Cara, long pass to Tomato, and now to Harris, the edge back rower. The Mounties defence sliding effectively in the shape of Matt Allwood. Across they come open side. Tomato, kick through, Reuben's out after it. Ager runs it dead. So Newtown applying the blowtorch there, and Mounties coming up Trump's brace.
A good quality start to the match. Newtown looked really good with the ball in hand. Tamata, Carr, the halves have been testing the line out. Cara and Big Meehan nearly got over the try line as well, but the defence from the Mounties has been superb to start the match.
Mounties enjoying 57% of possession so far. Completions, Newtown 2 from 4. Mounties a great start, 4 from 5. Here's Josh Davis. I spoke of him earlier, but also playing the back row. Big and strong, born in Auckland. Now a charge and came by this 18-year-old giant, Willis Meehan. I can tell you a lot of people in rugby league are talking this kid up.
There's big numbers to the left here.
Yeah, so Tomato to the line. Gee, what, 4 players on his left? It was 4 on 2. Wrong decision. Verlinden straight in.
Got to go left again.
Good tackle, Allwood. Lestrange run around with Evans, and now to Cara. Cara does well and gets it to Reuben. Long pass on the outside to Josh Davis. He's got a stack of work to do. Can he get there? He's across the line, but they've held him up.
Let's go.
Gee, he had a lot to do. Mounties defence coming up trumps again.
They do, and Davis nearly got over the line. It was a long ball. I thought he should have stepped inside, but he took on the defence of Tupu and Pengai. But have a look at Pengai. Holds him up over the try line, shows a lot of strength. And Davis still a good effort as Tamata goes for the kick. And unfortunately couldn't get it through the line.
So it's a changeover. Tamata, he's made a couple of decisions that I reckon his coach might tap him on the shoulder about at half-time.
Well, the Mounties have looked short over on their right-hand side, which is the left-hand side for Newtown. And Tamata's had a couple of opportunities to throw to the numbers, and he's taken the line on himself. So have a look. You'll probably get the message from Madison to take the line on the left-hand side and pass it more so than run it next time.
So Mounties now trying to get out of trouble. 6-0 leaders after almost 12.5 minutes of play. Had a bit go right in the opening 5 or 6 minutes to lay the platform. Langi Setu, meanwhile, will get to his feet, the former Dragon, Bronco, and Melbourne Storm player. Kick downfield, taken by Jonathan Rubin. The 21-year-old comes back at them, tackled by Matt Allwood and Jeremy Hawkins. Allwood, born in Scone, but played with the Raiders NYC and has signed with the Warriors actually for next year, 2015. Matt Allwood.
Good player, Allwood. He's played quite a few first-grade games now, and he'll be better for the experience, and a good signing from the Warriors, but the pressure seems to keep building here on the Mounties. They got out of their own end pretty well off the back of a lot of pressure on their own try line. Now, off the back of a penalty, Newtown in good position yet again.
Harris takes away to Kane Evans. Taken by his opposite, Setu, as well as Mark Nichols. He's had a good start to the match, Kane Evans, as we expected he would. Involved in everything. Speaking of being involved in everything, what about this kid? Me and another charge by him. Lestrange doing what he does best. Got it to Brad Barrett, who flicked it to Kurt Kara. And Kara grasped 5 metres out from the line by Moses Pangai. Now back to the open, and another hit up by Kane Evans, and the miraculous offload to Lestrange. They keep it going out to Harris. He takes them on himself. Gee, maybe he would have been better off shifting it. We've seen a bit of that. Rubin at acting half. Tamata.
Great ball.
Good play. Kara. Long pass over the top to Josh Davis. He ducks under one. Got through another try time. The referee points to the spot, Liam Nichols. The Jets are back. 6-4 with the conversion from wide out. Some brilliant play in there.
Beautiful finish from Davis, and it starts here. You'll see the ball goes to Meehan from Tamata. Watch the offload out the back here. Beautiful offload out the back, goes to Kara. Long ball out the back to Davis. Watch him finish this off. Plenty of work to do. Good footwork, good strength, and gets over the try line. He got held up only a matter of time ago, but this is the ball here. Meehan flicks it out the back. He had numbers all over him, and Kara sees the space on the edge. But this guy, Davis, had plenty of work to do. Beats 2 players on the edge. But we spoke about the involvement of Meehan. He's been involved in everything to start this match. He's taken the hit-ups, he's played the tough play, and on that occasion, beautiful offload to give this guy the first try for the afternoon for Josh Davis.
Yeah, that's his 3rd try of 2014, Braith. And we also talked about Josh Davis and the fact that he came back from injury about a month ago, and it's no secret that Newtown's fortunes changed when he came back into the team. He's a good player.
He is, and it was about 5 minutes ago when he got held up from Tupu and Pangai on this left-hand side, and he nearly scored that try with numbers all over him, and just then he was 5 metres out. He had numbers coming across from the Mounties, and he put on a good right foot, left foot step, and it was a beautiful finish by him.
So Arana Tamata, the 25-year-old, born in Wellington. He's about 3 metres in from the western touchline. Barely any breeze here, worth mentioning. He doesn't have to budget for too much in that regard, and not bad off the boot, slightly away to the right. But scoreline competitive, 6-4 here after 16 minutes of play.
Yeah, I think we're in for a good match. It's been a really high-quality start. Newtown have had their opportunities and they've made them count, and the Mounties' defence has been really good as well. But the big forwards from Newtown have been doing the damage. Kane Evans and Meehan have been making metres from their own end of the field and also creating opportunities down in good ball.
It's not just Meehan's the fact he's only 18 and he's a massive kid. He plays with maturity far exceeding his years. That offload was an offload of a more senior player.
It was. He had numbers around him. He really created the opportunity for the outside men. But look at the way he runs the ball. He's just made 20 metres off the kickoff. And he's fit too. He's had about 5 or 6 hit-ups.
Ladies and gentlemen, you could be watching a rising star of the game. That's the opinion of many. Harris plays it back to Lestrange, and here's Ryan Verlinden. A player that showed unbridled potential 5 or 6 years ago. You can see how big he is. Hasn't quite lived up to the potential, but very solid at this level in the State Cup. Kane Evans He's been good in this game, Evans. 4 tackles, 5 hit-ups and 1 offload are his stats. Possession has swung 58% to Newtown now, after Mounties had the lion's share early in the game. And Mounties in possession through Carr. Out there now in 16 is Clay Priest. That was Leroy Larzo. Now Nichols. He's not small either. Driven back in the tackle. He'll play it on the halfway line. Setu. Met by his opposite number. Penalty to Mounties.
And they needed that. That was off the back of a Setu run. You watch his footwork. He's good with the ball in hand. Setu, he creates opportunities, but he also he's difficult to tackle and a bit awkward. You'll see he comes off the right and he can come off the left. And unfortunately for Evans, he catches him high. Not much in it, but worthy of a penalty.
Agreed with that. Here's some second phase. Pangai on the outside to Tupu. Tupu for the line. The Jets come in numbers. And he'll be told to play it 1 metre out from the Newtown line. Mounties 6'4" leaders. Open side to Ryan Carr. Now the 15 is Kalani. Into the match now off the bench.
Big numbers to the right.
Some fresh troops being used by both coaches. Here come Mounties. This is Hager. Tries to get on the outside of Evans. But Evans stays with him, drives him into the deck. They come back across to Matt Place. And now Mark Nichols. Nichols straightens up the attack and did well. Gets it away to McKilrick. McKilrick for the line. Barrett smothers him. Ball and all. Good tackle by the second rower. Mounties applying the pressure. And here's a try to Setu. From acting half, Langy Setu. Too much pressure, the Jets capitulate. And Mounties extend the lead 10-4, kick to come.
We're just talking about this man here, Setu. Plenty of first grade experience, and he shows his experience here. Jumps out of dummy half, gets through the defence of Barrett. As you see here, Ruben and Barrett at the marker position. Barrett moved a bit early and Setu realised, comes off the left foot and scores quite a simple try for the Mounties. And gets the Mounties back out to a 10-4 point lead. But it was off the back of McCurrick, who'd nearly scored the play before. He got a good quick play, the ball did Setu, and he's had plenty of first grade experience. He's a great player with good footwork, and he gets his first try of the afternoon.
Indeed. 9 tackles, 5 hit-ups, 1 offload, 1 line break are Setu's stats. After almost 20 minutes, he's been effective. We alluded to him as a potential X-factor in our pre-game segment. He's just that kind of player. He can come up with a big play.
He can. And as I said, every time he's touched the ball, he's had a purpose. He's played with footwork at the line, so he's so hard to defend against. And the experience they're told, he realised that Barrett moved from the first mark quite early, and he come off his left to score an easy try.
So Matt Place, a study of concentration. Attempting to make it 12 and is successful in doing so. So after a little over half of this first half having been completed, Mounties 8-point leaders, and they got down the other end fairly easily.
Yeah, Kurt Carr actually tried to come up with a kick on the last tackle for Newtown and didn't get it through the defensive line. Gave Mounties good field position with the ball, and they were able to capitalise on that.
Carr is a player, Rafe, as you know, that has spent more time at 9 than he has at 6 in his career.
And I suppose when you're playing at 9, it's a completely different ball game in terms of fifth tackle options in your kicking game, and that's something that'll come in time if he keeps playing in the halves, and he'll get more experience in that position.
Nice offload back to Gus Ager, the 24-year-old, downfield, and links up with support. It was well read by the Newtown team, and Mounties 5 metres on their own side of halfway. Now they go down this short side with Moses Pangai, a Burwood junior. Plays it 8 metres into Newtown territory. Carr turns the ball back on the inside to Kalani. Kalani in his mid-20s. Penrith junior, I think. High kick. Pressure at the back for Jonathan Rubin. It's a contest. It comes back to Mounties. Touched by Newtown. Another 6 tackles. So, trouble here for Newtown. They've done a lot of defence the last 5 or 6 minutes, and there's more required here as Allwood goes to the line. Tackled by Tamata. They go down the short side with the back row of Pangai Jr. And Pangai Jr. crashes over. It's a little easy break at the moment. I know that they're peppering the Newtown try line. But defence from Newtown, I don't think will be making their coach overly happy.
No, very disappointing on this occasion. They got a bit of luck and got the ball back, but Agar realises the numbers down. Well, not the numbers. He realises that Pangai Jr. is storming onto the ball down the short side. He's just too big and strong. You'll see here they come up and try and make the tackle. He's got the... goes a bit too high, does Lane. And unfortunately for Newtown, that's just too soft. But you can't take anything away from Pangai Jr. His second try of the afternoon. Agar realised that Pangai was storming onto the football on the short side. And look at the size of him.
It's not fair, is it, for a fullback to have to tackle that?
No, it isn't. It isn't. And you can tell that Newtown really struggled with it close to the line. They were slow to get back after the kick and get reset. And I like the vision of Agar. He's seen the big man down the short side. He knows how effective he is with ball in hand, and he took it on. He went down that way.
Yep, he got 2 tries last week too, Taviti Pangai Jr. Not to be confused with Moses Pangai in the centres. So place from the eastern touchline. Difficult assignment. Mounties, whenever they visit the Newtown 20-metre area, they're coming up with points. It's a slightly ominous sign. Possession now favouring Mounties again at 57%. Quite a balmy afternoon, really. Unseasonably warm, I'd have to say. And the kick is away and successful from the touchline.
Great kick from place.
Well done.
Beautiful kick from place, but I don't think they should panic just yet, Newtown. They've just got to work hard in defence. Try and keep the Mounties down in their own end. And here's Ricky Stewart watching on as the Canberra Raiders are getting ready for their big match against the Roosters. You have to say they're big underdogs today, but coming off a beautiful victory last week against the Cowboys, they'll be pretty happy.
Was it the yellow jerseys they wore? Now Mitch Kalani off the bench, pretty handy player. Setu. Surrounded by Jets. Lestrange and Harris, 2 of them. Jeremy Hawkins, former junior Kiwi, goes for a run. Down fairly wide short side. Evans the tackler. So it's been a powerhouse start by Mounties in this game. And that man playing the ball has been in everything, including 2 tries. Kalani just short of the halfway line. And the kick charged down by Brad Barrett. Well done, the back rower. And Brad falls on it, getting a late call up into the starting lineup. Kara, and gives it to the centre, Josh Davis, who takes the Mounties forwards on. Strange picks up with Monga. Monga dragged down by Ryan Carr and also Jake Foster. Here's Big Man, some footwork on him too. This time he slips, but he hit the left step in an effort to break the line. Tamata, some slick work, and got through the first attempted tackle of Lanny Setu. Now it comes to Harris. Good chance for Newtown, and Harris has fallen on the ball. The referee's going to give it. So Newtown keep themselves in the contest. 18-8.
And it was good work from the Newtown left-hand side. Again, they've looked dangerous on that side so far today. This is the charge down. This is where it all started. Young Carr went for the kick and Barrett putting pressure on the kicker. Beautiful work from Barrett. He can take a lot of credit for this try for Newtown. And it was the lead-up work from Tamata also on the left-hand side who created the space here for Harris. Harris gets the ball. They're rushing across. He puts the kick through. And there's a deflection from the Mounties. And you'll see Harris gets his hand back on the ball. Tries to get the ball through. There's a deflection and jumps back on it. Good work from Harris. Nice little left foot kick. Good chase from the man.
There's no way anyone here in the stadium would have expected him to kick.
That's right, and I don't think the defensive line expected that either, and that's why it's such a dangerous option for him, and that's what you want out of your back rowers. As a half, you want to be able to either hit them with a good pass running a good line, but you also give them ball early so they can create opportunities for themselves or for their outside men, and that's what Harris did then. He took it on, put in a nice little kick, and It was the lead-up guy work from this guy here, Tamata, who took the line on with that left foot step and nearly got over the try line himself, which gave Harris plenty of time to actually execute that kick and come up with the try.
Yes, and all of that off the back of the Brad Barrett charge down. Good sense of urgency by Barrett. Tamata, and straight between the uprights. He played a major role in the try, or the lead up to the try anyway, and gets the extras. So 18-10.
And I was saying earlier, there's no cause for Newtown to panic. Even though their defence has been a little bit dodgy today, and the Mounties have scored nearly every time they've been down that end, Newtown have looked dangerous when they've had the ball in hand, so they've got to be patient too. We could see a high-scoring match, but all in all, you know, they're still in it.
Next week, Mounties will take on the top place Wentworthville Magpies. And, a terrific match next Saturday, as we see Andrew Pern and his first touch of the match, just coming into the game now off the bench. Pern, a former Western Suburbs Magpie and Tiger. Strange, and pass away. It looks like big Hoomer's out there now. It is Hoomer. Talking about big, he's a massive human being and can find his way to the try line too. Here's Pern again, grafting style player. He'll roll his sleeves up all day. Now it's Matt Evans. Setu got there first, couple of others, including Kalani. Now a kick from Newtown and a bounce that Mounties didn't appreciate very much. Ball still in play. Kurt Carr falls on it. That's 6 more, the ruling from Liam Nichols. Now it comes across to Monga. Monga tries to get on the outside. He's got Josh Davis there. Heard the call from Davis, threw it. It was misdirected and Mounties come up with it. That is an opportunity gone begging.
Wrong play from Monga. You can see him shaking his head there at first marker. It was a repeat set of 6. They had 6 tackles to go. It was the first tackle from Monga. He created a little bit of an opportunity, but he had to hold the ball.
Ray Majali into the match 2 for Newtown now, with 21 on his back. Great clubman. Also spent some time at Manly. Here's Hawkins, centre of the field. You can check the replay up, bottom right-hand corner of screen, and that play going wrong for Monga. Now, McKilrick. Decent run out of acting half. The battle of 9s. Lestrange got him. Now he's wanting to get the ball down the other end, taken on the fingertips by Brett Lane. A wall of yellow and brown jerseys. Upended. Setu playing with great enthusiasm, isn't he? Got up there very quickly in defence. The kick chase. Here's Rubin. Driven back. Man, he's really dominating the game defensively. They are getting up off their line and whacking Newtown out of this at the moment.
Yeah, it's been a physical match for both sides. I mean, the Mounties have been really physical in defence with Setu, Pengai Jr. and the likes. And Rubin comes up with an error off the back of that.
Losing control of the Steeden just before he hit the ground. But good bustling defence by Mounties.
Here we go. Heads here. Come together.
And you see the completion rates there.
Phenomenal.
92% for the Mounties. Shows why they're leading by 8 points. And Newtown on the other end of the spectrum are 67% straight.
Yeah, McKilrick, ball away to Allwood. Allwood wrapped up by Evans.
He's holding me! He's holding me!
Tamata. Allwood was screaming to the ref, he's holding me, sir, I can't get up. That's been going on for 100 and something years. Clay Priest plays it back to McKilrick. McKilrick, a run and then a pass to Kalani. He's a big boy too. Put down by Ray Majali. And another, does McKilrick run? No. It's a pass to Matt Place. And here's the centre, Matt Allwood. Little bit of footwork at the line. David Harris wrapped him up along with Matt Evans. So another test for Newtown's defence. Langy Setu from acting half. Penalty, double movement.
Short, double movement.
Well, a rush of blood to the head. The Mounties lock forward, wanting his second 4-pointer for the day.
And nearly in exactly the same fashion too, at a dummy half. He showed good footwork again. Nearly got over the try line, but the referee called hurled, reached over, and it was definitely a double movement. There's no doubt about it. As you can see there, he's on his back, and then he reaches over.
So by Newtown. Gee, they've been soaking up some pressure. How much is left in the tank? Sweating on half-time, I would have thought. Given Mounties' completions and possession advantage, if you're Greg Maddison, the Newtown coach, you're not that unhappy trailing by 8. Lestrange onto the chest of big Salala Huma. Born in Auckland, played some New South Wales Cup with the Auckland Vulcans, as they were called a few years ago, before linking up with the Newtown Roosters joint venture. Lestrange, Malta, Harris, and got the pass away to Matt Evans. That's the last, tackle 5. The Jets, golden opportunity before half-time. A high kick, taken at the back beautifully by Gus Ager. And back he comes to the 20 for the restart. Impressed with Ager today at fullback. It's the first time I've seen him play there, to be honest. He's normally a winger.
Oh, he looks real good at the back. Very fast. He's got good vision. He's created some space on that right-hand edge for a couple of tries for Pengai Jr., so he doesn't look out of place at all.
And Moses Pengai losing it for the second time today. Second time we've seen him do that.
They were just standing up. They were just standing up.
Another look.
Yeah, no, it's just a loose carry from Moses Pengai. Very uncharacteristic from him. He's been playing really good. He scored a couple of tries last week for the Mounties, and
Seconds in.
he'll be disappointed with
Get
that.
your head all the way in. Get it in. Ball.
7 errors in the match for Newtown, 3 Mounties. Jonathan Rubin. Good ball and all hit by Langi Setu. Tamata exploding out of acting half. Cuts the steed in 5 metres into Mounties territory. Lestrange. And now to big Ray Majali. Upended. Good defence by the workaholic Matt McKilrick. Good Cara. Oh, ball away to Jack Noble. It was well read by Mounties. It looked good at the time. Huma. And this is Pern. So now it's Mounties' turn rather to soak up the pressure to Malta. Harris, he's got one try, wants another, and kicks again. It's been battered dead over there by Jeremy Hawkins. So good set by Newtown.
They needed that. They needed a good finish, Newtown. They've had a couple of poor kicks from Tamata, but this guy here, he's put 2 beautiful left foot grubbers in this afternoon. One for a try and that one for a repeat set of 6 for Harris. And you'll see that's the play these days. Normally in first grade, and also you'll see New South Wales Cup, the wingers and the fullback go back early. So he kicks into the air, as you can see me, and he goes off on the sideline. Great stint from him. Beautiful first half. But you'll see the option is to hit your back row or hit someone else on the edge for a grubber. It brings the defensive line up and creates the opportunities, as it has done for Harris today.
Yeah, well said. Lestrange, the top tackler for Newtown with 18.
Good offload.
Great strength there from Huma, and he gives it away to Ray Majali. He's dragged down by Rodney Coates out there now, and Langi Setu. Setu has now made 19 tackles. He's the leading defender for Mounties. Harris, he's had a really solid game, the number 12 for Newtown. Jali, Huma.
Great play.
And away to Pern. Some nice little forward tip-ons there in front of the line. Lestrange to Huma. He's a hard man to stop from close range. Told to play it a blade of grass short. Lestrange, Kurt Cara, ball on to Monga. He gives it to Josh Davis. There's Mounties defenders everywhere. The cavalry arrived. Open side, Cara at first receiver. A kick, it's been fielded by Mounties. Referee's decision is he was in the in-goal area, Ager.
Come in though. All part of the tackle.
All part of the tackle.
Go on.
Gee, I can understand why the Mounties boys are arguing the point.
It was good work from Agar. Watch him scurry across here and get down to the ball. Nearly knocks it on, just controls. He looks to be outside the field of play here, but I suppose they had every right to touch him. And the ball on the line from Agar means that it's in goal, so I think that's the correct decision.
Blade of grass in the call, wasn't it?
Yeah, could have went either way.
So 3.5 remaining in this first half. Big Huma once again making a massive impression off the bench as he does week in, week out. So Lala Huma plays it, the 23-year-old. It's all Newtown at the moment despite trailing on the scoreboard. Harris wrapped up by 3 Mounties defenders. Mounties' defence has been exemplary in the main today. A lot of desperation. Majali, Kurt Kara, bodies in motion. Ruben, Tomonga chiming in from the other side. Monga's through. Try time to the Jets. Just what they needed before half-time. 18 plays 14 with the kick to come.
And this is individual brilliance from Monga. You'll see here, they have the wide set up, but they're going sideways. Majali, Kara hits Ruben, then Monga. They're going sideways. Plenty of defence in the line, but he just puts on the footwork, gets on the edge, beats Pengai, and it's just good footwork and vision from Monga. You watch him, he sets his centre up, Ben goes off the left foot, uses his left palm, and he's just too big and strong close to the line. But they had the numbers there. Pengai had to make the tackle. He had to be more aggressive. He held off on Monga. And Monga's too quality of a player. He's a try-scoring machine. I've played a bit of footy with Monga. He's got a big future ahead of him. He's had a few knee reconstructions, which has been a setback for him. But he can score a try. And he's one of the best young kids I've played with. He's got a big future in the game. And if he can just stay fit, there's no doubt in my mind he'll play a lot of first grade.
Just 21 years of age. An Ipswich junior. Before moving down to the Roosters, where he played junior reps in the SG ball ranks. And a Tamata, who's really got himself into this contest too now, the Newtown 7. A couple of strange decisions in general play early in the game, but he's been good the last 20.
Yeah, I agree. As he hits the upright and misses. Good kick from Tamata. I agree with you, Tappy. I think his touches have been really good. He's looked really good with the ball in hand. His footwork's been good at the line, but he's come up with a few poor kicks. I think that's probably what's let him down a little bit this afternoon. But apart from that, his touches have been good. And Moga, this guy here, well, as I said, I can't praise him enough. I think he's really got a huge future in the game. And he's been, as I said, he's been really unlucky with injuries, and he's brought Newtown back into this match with a bit of individual brilliance.
Absolutely. And obviously has the autonomy of the coach to roam around the field where he sees fit. We saw the centre Josh Davis on his outside in that play leading up to the try, and that has occurred a number of times late in this half. Mashali. And that's good defence. Mounties. McKilrick in 9 and Priest as well. Real physical stuff. McKilrick, 15 tackles, 3 hit-ups in the match. Lestrange to Huma. Big Huma had to reach out. That's a little in front of him. How big is he? Oh, goodness. Tamata down the short side. Had Harris screaming into a gap. But Tamata couldn't pop the pass. Lestrange down that short side.
That's a strange play.
Well, 5 seconds from half-time, I guess.
Yeah, he's happy with the 4 points behind going into the break.
He's been busy as always, Heath Lestrange. Never lets his team down. So half-time siren at Allianz. Mounties 18 leading Newtown 14. It had all the makings of a fine contest. 3rd against 9th. Newtown the rapid improver in the competition over the past few weeks. And it is living up to expectation. Hope you're enjoying it. Wild Turkey Bourbon Super Saturday will continue in a moment. Good to have you with us on Wild Turkey Bourbon Super Saturday in the halftime break here at Allianz Stadium. It's Mounties 18 leading the Newtown Jets 14. A thoroughly enjoyable first half. Some great individual brilliance. Some really physical stuff up the centre. Bone-jarring defence. There are the stats, Braithen.
Yeah, we've got a great game on our hands. As you can see, Newtown have had a little bit more possession, particularly in the second half of that half, to get themselves back in the game. But pretty similar stats. A few more missed tackles to the Mounties, 11 compared to 7. They've had similar line breaks and opportunities in the 20 as well. So I suppose those stats do suggest how the game is going.
There's been a lot of football played in the respective 20-metre areas, there's no doubt about that. First try was scored by Pengai Jr. in the 6th minute.
Yeah, it was placed through the long ball out. Tamata got a touch on it, and Pengai Jr. maybe a little bit lucky to come up with a try then, and this was the second try here. Tamata takes the ball out to Meehan. It's the offload here for Meehan, which creates the space for his outside man, and Davis. You'll see here, Davis, good footwork to beat Tupu, and Pengai as well to get the first try for Newtown.
Langi Setu, who's been wonderful for Mounties, got a try out of acting half.
Yeah, his footwork's been superb. He nearly got another try out of acting half as well. But here, Pengai Jr. again, just too big and strong down the short side. Good vision from Agar to hit him there and see the big man on little man. And this kick from Harris. You'll see here down the short side. Beautiful, well-executed kick. He's done a couple of them in the first half, and a well-deserved try to Harris.
And then Monga produced some individual brilliance.
He did. He really had no right to score this try. He just gets on the outside of Pengai, beats the man, all ends up, and good individual piece of brilliance from Monga to get within 4 points of the opposition.
So the point scorers, Pangai Junior 2 tries, Langi Setu 1 try for Mounties. Matt Place 3 from 3 with the boot. Monga, Harris and Davis the try scorers for Newtown. Tamata just a 1 from 3 with the boot. Of course, still to come today on Wild Turkey Bourbon Super Saturday, the NRL fixture featuring the Roosters and the Raiders. Of course, it's live right here on the Sports Leader. Pre-game show from 5 p.m. Kickoff there in the NRL is 5:30 p.m. Eastern. What does Newtown have to do to go on and win this?
I think they've just got their defence. I mean, their defence was a bit poor in that first half. They let the Mounties score too softly, but with ball in hand, Newtown have looked really dangerous. They've got to get more ball to Monga on the outside, on the edges of the ruck, and they need their forwards to keep working hard in the middle.
Arguably the biggest pack of forwards in the New South Wales Cup, the Newtown Jets. They start with players like Meehan and Valinda, and then they bring a guy like Hoomer out. It is scary stuff. All right, we'll take a break. Back in a moment with the second half. Thanks for joining us. Wild Turkey Bourbon Super Saturday. Looking forward to the second half of this match with no little expectation. Fox Sports with cameras all around the venue. Love the corner post cam. Mounties here leading 18-14. And at this juncture, let's check the halftime scores at other New South Wales Cup grounds today. The Sharks, the defending premiers, leading North Sydney by 18-6. The Wyong Roos, they're going along brilliantly at Brookvale, I think, against the Sea Eagles, 30-24. And the Tigers, that is a turn-up. 30 points to nil leaders over the current competition leader, Wentworthville, in the New South Wales Cup.
Go the Tigers, eh? They're fired up. 30-0 at half-time against the leaders of the competition in the New South Wales Cup. Wentworthville couldn't help for a better result in that first half.
Yeah, the Tigers are 4th at the completion of 11 rounds. Penrith in 2nd spot, the Panthers. So Mounties to defend the northern end of Allianz in this second half. I think he's set to arguably Mounties' best, as those stats would indicate. 22 tackles. He leads the charts in that regard for his team. And every time he's handled the steed, and he's been a real headache for the opposition.
Yeah, you could see from those stats he'd been busy, but he'd also been effective as well. You know, he scored out of dummy half. He nearly scored 2 tries out of dummy half, and he's just got such good footwork at the line, and he's definitely caused the Newtown defence some troubles.
So the Jets, out they come. Kurt Kara on screen has been solid enough at 5'8". That man's been really good. David Harris. And obviously put a little grubbing kick through, which led to a try for himself, and then in the very next play kicked again, so it might have gone to his head, this kicking.
Yeah, he's put the 2 best kicks of the whole game in, has Harris, so he'll be looking for some more. Monga there, the man on screen, he scored the last try of the first half to get Newtown right back in the match, and as I mentioned at half time, I think Tamata and the likes have got to get the ball in his hands as much as possible.
So Liam Nichols, the referee, signals time on in this second stanza. Mounties clinging to a 4-point lead. No doubt this can go either way. Jake Foster is tackled on the far side. Now Newtown, there'd be no shortage of self-belief there. Rodney Coates standing in the tackle, now plays it back to Matt McKilrick. And Mounties rolling downfield this time with Mitch Kailani. Tackled by Heath Lestrange and Ray Majali. About 12 on their own side of halfway. Place away to the back row of Taviti Pangai Jr. The scorer of 2 tries. His opposite number, Harris, makes the tackle. Setu, another powerhouse run. That is the halfway line. Kick to southwestern corner. Jonathan Rubin beautifully positioned. Back he comes. If he gets some space, he can be a real handful. But this time Mounties equal to it. Rodney Coates, in fact, driving in backwards along with Mitch Kaylani.
Yeah, good chase from those two men and a good kick from place. Puts it into the right-hand corner, forces Ruben to try and work himself back out for Newtown. And good field position for the Mounties. Good first set of 6 for the second half.
Once again, we saw in that previous ruck, Monga keen to get his hands on the football. He could just be the difference between these teams today if they can give him some quality speed. Huma, another typically blockbusting charge up towards the halfway line. They keep it going with a good play of the ball. Harris, he ducks back infield and plays it back to Lestrange. To Marta. A kick between winger and fullback, if you like, and into touch western side. Nothing wrong with that set by the Jets.
Beautiful set and a great kick from this man on screen, Tamata. A little bit critical of his kicking game in the first half, but that was perfect. I believe Coach Madison might have had a word to him at the break, and he's executed that one brilliantly into the left-hand corner. And it's been a good start from both teams again to the second half. I mentioned Place, 5'8" from Mounties, putting in a beautiful kick at the end of their set as well. So you can tell there's been a little bit of an emphasis on their kicking game already in this second half.
So Place feeds the scrum. Mounties loose head. And this is Jeremy Hawkins, upended by Lestrange and Jack Noble. The latter in 16. He crept forward a little and in the eye of the referee. You see that a lot in the game. Setu again, taking them on. Driven back by Ray Majali and Salala Huma. Only the second tackle. The short side here with Jake Foster. Noble getting across, helping his centre, Josh Davis. Ryan Carr, it was a horror pass out of acting half. He did his best to salvage it. He needed to be a magician to do so.
Yeah, poor pass around the ankles. It's one of those catches as a half you want to make. You're pretty disappointed when you don't, but it was a poor executed pass from the dummy half to Carr.
He's a player, Ryan Carr, that's had a few clubs too. Sharks, Cowboys, Tigers, Redcliffe Dolphins in the Queensland Cup. Very versatile customer. So Jets, opportunity for them. That's a tremendous run by Josh Davis. Now Harris follows up with a run of his own. And penalty inside the 10 metres. Newtown with a real spring in their step here, taking it up to Mounties. Some wonderful forward charges. Harris another one. Kalani the tackler. Lestrange might go for a run from acting half. Looking and probing to Kara. And now to Majali. Mounties stop him. Good tackle, the infinitely smaller Ryan Carr. Lestrange pass away to Andrew Byrne. Mounties there in numbers again. Kalani leading the way. Lestrange to Kara. Stops, goes, dummies. Away, pass. And it's on the ground. It comes the way of Mounties. Well, gee, that's a disappointing end to Newtown's set. It showed so much promise early.
You've got to be more patient than that. And it was that man Monga again. He's thrown a couple of offloads early in the sets of 6 that have cost Newtown as an error from the Mounties. Will give Newtown the ball back in good field position.
In wonderful field position.
Great opportunity for Newtown.
So the Newtown faithful here on the edge of their seat. A poor play of the ball as Allwood was coming away from acting half. And Nichols blowing the pee out of his whistle.
They've got to be a little bit more patient here, Newtown. They've forced a few passes when they've had opportunity in good field position against the Mounties so far this afternoon. So let's see how they go this set.
So Kara on the outside to Monga. Taken down by Clay Priest. Just outside the Mounties 10-metre line. Noble this is. Kalani's done a heap of defence for Mounties since he's been involved in the game. Pern to Tamata. And now to Ruben. Away to Matt Evans, and Evans Evans has got that down. That's a try every day of the week. Liam Nichols confirms it. It is 18 all. You beauty.
Good work to the left-hand side. You'll see good forward play. Throws out the back to Tamata. Tamata goes out the back to Ruben with Harris running a great outside in line, and Evans on the outside. Does well to score this try. He's got men all over him. Hawkins and Allgood are all over him in defence. Good creativity from Tamata. Ruben sums the situation up, but plenty to do for Evans. Looks like he's going out, but gets the ball in just in the nick of time.
Yeah, he snaps the ball down, Braith, with a real sense of urgency. He knew he was heading over the touchline. Get it down.
Well, he had Allwood.
Well done.
And he also had Hawkins all over him. For all money, he was going to run out then, but he puts the ball down just in the nick of time. Does this man, Matt Evans, and a beautiful try for him in the left-hand corner.
22 years of age. He's a mascot junior, in fact. Having a joke there with the Newtown trainer, Darryl Neville. There's a name from the past.
He used to play for South.
He did. And the Jets, I think.
Yeah, he's been at Newtown for quite a while, but it was good play. This man here, Tamata, he had a really good setup there to the left-hand side. He's had a good combination with his back rower, Harris, and he went out the back to Ruben, which created the space for Evans. So he's playing some good footy today, Tamata.
So here's a Rana Tamata from the touchline, and unfortunately slices that away. We are tied up at 18 all. A thrilling New South Wales Cup battle. Newtown really starting to get a roll on in this competition now after a dreadful start to the season. Going for their 4th consecutive victory today. Mounties achieved something last weekend that no team has achieved this season in the New South Wales Cup. They won after a bye.
That's unbelievable. An unbelievable statistic.
Yep, the only team that's achieved it. That having been said, they almost threw it away as the Bulldogs came storming back at them last week. It's another story. Majali, the veteran, 27 years of age, and the mainstay of this Jets forward pack for 5 or 6 years now. Ruben, probing, tackled by Setu, Galani. That's good defence. Wonderful defence, racing up off his line. Allwood, applying pressure to the ball carrier. Uma can't break through this time. He's driven into the grass by Rodney Coates. Lestrange goes the other way this time. And this is Andrew Pern ambling downfield. Couple of metres short of the halfway line on tackle number 5. 18 all. In a tremendous game. This week's instalment of the New South Wales Cup live on Fox Sports. Gus Hager charges back, runs into the shoulder of Kara. Lestrange helping out. Jeremy Hawkins, former junior Kiwi, graduate of the Canberra Raiders Holden Cup. Billy Tupu, born in Auckland, beyond the halfway line. Galani. Taken by Lestrange, that is his 23rd tackle of the match. Lestrange, good run by Reece Goldsmith, who's out there now. Utility player that can really play anywhere in the forwards. And provides good leg speed around the ruck. High kick, pressure for the Jets. It bounces and Ruben comes up with it. Oh, then he drops it. I was about to say he does so well. He beat 2 defenders. Then the football finds the ground.
A little bit unlucky for Ruben. Good kick from place from the Mounties, the number 6, and good chase as well. You see here, it goes to fresh air, does the ball, bounces back into Ruben's hands, covers it well, gets it, but he carries it with one hand. Bang, gets knocked out of his hands with a knock on close to his line. He had to get low. He took a gamble, he tried to beat his men, but in that situation, you just want to go to ground.
Yeah, Goldsmith helping him make that error. The Mounties 17, the former Windsor Wolf who got up in his face. So a massive chance for Mounties now to extend the lead as it comes to Matt Allwood. Menacing tackle by Matt Evans. So Newtown will be defending for their lives here. Important game for them if they win today. Depending upon other results, they could sneak into the 8. A lot on the line for them. Approaching midway through the season, and there's Carr taking off. Good defence by Andrew Pern, as well as Jack Noble. The big forward, Leroy Lars, makes a mistake. It comes to Jonathan Rubin, who turns defence into attack.
Not the right play. Pressure pass from Goldsmith to Leroy Lars, right on the defensive line of the Newtown Jets. They had a few numbers out the back. They had numbers to the left-hand side as well, did the Mounties, and unfortunately for them, Goldsmith just come up with the wrong play at the wrong time.
Our match today, of course, going live into New Zealand, as well as Fox Sports right around Australia. Majali plays it back to Lestrange. Cara at first receiver. Oh, short ball. Mistake by the Jets this time. They were building up to what looked to be a decent set. It was only, what, the third tackle?
It was. And he knew the pass wasn't on Cara. He could tell he went to throw it, then he went to hold it back. And even if he caught the pass, it was forward anyway. You could see he's way in front of him. He should have held it. Should have held onto it, Cara. Taking the line on himself and play the ball, keep going.
I honestly don't think six is his natural game. I said it before. He's a really good nine, Kurt Cara.
Ball here. Heads in.
So Mounties more possession.
Heads in. Ball in.
That having been said, Newtown, according to the stats, have had 54% of possession in the game. Completions, Jets 17 from 23. Mounties 13 from 19. Place onto Pangai Jr., who flicks it out the back and keeps it alive. Leroy Lars contending with Lestrange and Tamata. They make the tackle centre field on the Newtown 30. Kalani. He was going to try and pop the pass. It didn't happen. McKilrick in a bit of space. Goes galloping downfield. He was headed off by Andrew Pern at the pass. Now Goldsmith. The Jets' desperate defence. Majali had him by the jersey. He'll play it back to McKilrick. Matt Place at first receiver. Low kick. Pangai Jr.'s after it. The Jets save the day, but it'll be a line dropout, so more pressure coming up for Newtown.
Yeah, nice kick from Place on the right-hand side. Pangai Jr. going for his third try of the afternoon. And you'll see Evans tries to clear the ball, has an air swing at it and covered well by Lane on the wing for the Newtown Jets. But that's how you build pressure. That's patience from the Mounties, and the 5'8" Places we see Ray Majali hopefully just cramping in back play. He's got a heavily strapped knee, so hopefully it's not an injury.
He's been a great servant to the club. He won a Jersey Fleck Premiership with the Roosters, if memory serves me rightly, earlier in his career. He's been at a few clubs. He's actually a Canterbury junior. He's played most of his football with Manly and, of course, Newtown the last 7 or 8 years. So, not a bad line dropout, and look at the eye of the Tiger. The look of determination as Leroy Lars carted the ball back. Kalani, he has a crack. Working in heavy traffic. He's put down by Huma. He's played some minutes, hasn't he, in this game? Huma comes to Pangai Jr. Big and strong, got the fend and found his fullback in Gus Ager, who drifts across the field. Put down by Lestrange. And Huma, the big man, got across there and cover as well. Matt Place takes them on. Little bit of footwork. Then a fend, and he got it away to McKilrick. McKilrick juggles and then takes off. Ooh. Very close to scoring. Referee says you short play it on tackle number 4. Can Newtown withstand this pressure? They're soaking it up. Leroy Lars has another go. Gives the ball to Goldsmith and a run around back to Goldsmith and then a dummy. And he still gets it away to Gus Ager. Great stuff, Mounties. Desperate defence, Newtown. Carr gives it back to Matt Place. He dummies, then he kicks and it's too long. What about that for a passage of play?
How good was that?
Can someone get me a Panadol?
Apart from the finish, the lead-up work was brilliant. Plenty of offloads. Agar was everywhere. The Place off the back of it, I seen what he was trying to do. I know the idea is as...
Hand on the ball, strip.
Gee.
Well, did he get it?
Wait, he's got to get behind. Wait.
Didn't mean to interrupt you, Brate. You're in full flight there.
Oh, talk about turning points. Mounties on the edge of scoring a try. Newtown get the ball, get a set of 7, and here's Monga. There is a clear strip, as you can see there, from Goldsmith on Monga, and now all of a sudden Newtown are in perfect position.
Gee, have they got anything left in the tank? The defence, the pressure. Here's Meehan. This kid, wow, he's impressive. He'll get to his feet, the 18-year-old, playing against men. Open side, Tamata, dummy to Kane Evans, gives it to Jonathan Reuben. Reuben, an out ball to Brett Lane. Lane wrapped up by his opposite, Jeremy Hawkins. Great stuff. Some good football being played here. Tamata to the line, off to the front row of Meehan. And Meehan is felled in front of the uprights by Reece Goldsmith. Now it's Mounties' turn to soak it up. Tamata away to Harris, a hit and a spin. Now he gives it on to Matt Evans. He finds the winger. And Brett Lane over in the corner. Great stuff, Newtown. 22-18. Oh, you've got to love your rugby league.
How good's this game of footy? And it's this left-hand edge again for Newtown. Tamata sees the vision, the numbers, throws the ball to his man Harris. He's been on all day. Great offload to Evans, and Evans finds the pass to Lane. Unselfish play, gives him the opportunity to score the try. And the left-hand combination of Tamata and Harris. Good hit and spin from Harris to hit Evans. And Evans sums up the situation brilliantly and gives his winger on the left-hand side lane the 4-pointer to take Newtown to the lead.
Been some game by the back row of David Harris, hasn't it?
Oh, superb. Their combination, Tamata and Harris have been really good on this left-hand edge, and it's a great finish too. I mean, you look at Evans, he scored the try earlier when he looked like he was for all money going out. On that occasion, he sums up the situation, hits this man here, Brett Lane, to get Newtown ahead. I think it's for the first time this afternoon. Well, they might have scored the first try, but they've been behind for most of the match. And Newtown, they look down and out after 10 or 15 minutes into the match, and all of a sudden now they've hit the lead.
Yeah, great game. Some desperation stuff by both sides. So they've now scored 18 unanswered points. Our statistician Brett reminds me. Mounties got away to a 12-4 lead fairly early from memory, wasn't it? Now, can he land this from the sideline and rubs sole into the wounds and hits the upright? Almost. The look of pain on his face. Total disbelief.
Well, he's hit the post twice this afternoon, as Tamata.
Roosters and Raiders, it comes your way. Following full time in this game, pre-game program from 5 o'clock with the boys. And kick-off in that game at 5:30. Can Canberra continue its improvement? They'll certainly be buoyed by their big win last weekend. For the Roosters at home, always a tough assignment. So the Jets, they play from in front for the first time. Kane Evans, a solid return of the footy by the Leichhardt Junior.
You'll see Evans and Meehan back on the field at the same time again here for Newtown, so that'll give them plenty of momentum.
Good run there by Davis. Here's Meehan, looked inside, through half a dummy, went to ground. He's mobile for a big boy too, isn't he?
He's fit too, Taps. He made 8 or 9 hit-ups in that first half.
Yeah, absolutely. Hoomer, been impressed with the 17. He's played a lot of minutes today. Admittedly coming to the match off the bench, but he's been out there.
Great kick from Tamata.
Yeah, Ager got a bit of work to do here. Gus Ager, and he's surrounded by Jets. Kurt Cara, the first to get there. He drives him back with Kane Evans' break. Good stuff.
They're fired up, Newtown. Have a look at him. Coming off the line.
Tupou lifted up there by Tautau Monga. Back towards the line. Mounties doing it tough. Clay Priest advances the football just a fraction beyond his own 10-metre line. Great defence, Newtown. Cara, really strong with his left shoulder driving in there. And this is wonderful played by Newtown. They're desperately trying to force an error. Taviti Pangai Jr. gets to his feet. Play says, let's get out of here. A kick that deflects off a Newtown player. It comes back to big Willis Meehan. Wrestled by Leroy Lars. He'll play it back to Lestrange, who's made 32 tackles in the game.
What a defensive set that was from Newtown. And pressure from Harris on the last tackle. They got a little bit lucky with the deflection, but they deserved it Beautiful set of 6 from Newtown in defence.
Classic up-in-your-face stuff, and here's Evans again. He started the game sensationally. The Newtown lock forward and looking for more of the same for his coach. Tamata, little bit of footwork, taking them on. Heavy traffic, he bounces away and then he tries to burrow his way through. But there's no passage there for him to do so. 10 out, Kara, now to Monga, involved in everything. He's about 7 metres out. We've got 19 minutes left in this game. The Jets 22 points to 18 leaders. A kick through, it's been dropped. And falling on it for Mounties was Tupu. Waiting for the call.
I think it's going to be a Newtown ball. Lestrange has jumped out and kicked down the short side. He's got a little bit lucky again. There it is. It's a scrum feed to Newtown. He got a little. It's happened twice today for Lestrange. He's jumped out that short side, put in 2 little grubbers that have got deflections, and unfortunately here for Tupu, he's come up with a little knock on. And Newtown again, they're coming home very strong in this match, and once again in great field position.
The contrasting look by the players when that happened. Newtown spring in their step, dancing on the spot. Mounties all hands on hips, thinking no, not again. Reuben goes for a run. The Newtown fullback still going. Eventually put down by Matt Orwood. Mounties will do wonderfully well to hang on here as it comes to Verlinden. Verlinden, it's like a Mack truck with no brakes.
Go straight out.
Held up, told to go back 10 metres. He's a big unit. Here's Lestrange. Tamata. Harris. Harris takes them on. Had 2 players on his left. Now takes the tackle. Will Lestrange have a crack from acting half? Tamata drifting and links up with Willis Meehan. Meehan about 5 metres out. Leroy Lars the tackler. Lestrange to Tamata. Little kick in behind them. It's been scooped up by Matt Evans, and Matt Evans will get his 2nd try. Beautifully orchestrated, the kick superb. 26 points to 18, kick to come.
Good recognition from Lestrange, a dummy half. He goes to this left-hand edge again. Why wouldn't you? They've been scoring tries all afternoon. Beautiful kick from Tamata. His kicking game's been superb in the second half, and that man Evans gets his 2nd try of the afternoon. There was numbers out to the right-hand side for Newtown, but they can rely on this left-hand side. They've been so dangerous with their combinations all day. Tamata and Harris, but he puts the kick in this time for Evans. And it's been a great second half of football for the Newtown Jets, and in particular, this man here, Evans.
Not a lot Mounties could do about that, was there?
There wasn't. It was just a well-executed kick, and when you're on, you're on. And the momentum's certainly with Newtown, and it's definitely with this left-hand edge, as we've spoken about for most of the match. We've spoken about trying to get the ball into the hands of the right-hand side in Monga, but why would you? Why would you when you've been so effective with this guy here scoring 2 tries the afternoon? Now he's having his first kick of the afternoon too, Tappy.
Yeah, he's going to have a shot.
I thought Tamata was kicking okay. He hit the post a couple of times and a little bit unlucky. He's having a breather.
He might have picked up an injury or something. Might have a hammy. So not a bad looking kick. I've put the jinx on him. It hooks away to the left at the last moment. Matt Evans, unsuccessful. I can do that. The kick is better than anyone in the world.
It was the wind, mate. The wind.
There's no wind in the stadium. just my hot air. Next week, it's from Wynn Stadium at Wollongong, our New South Wales Cup clash, featuring Illawarra and the defending premiers, the Cronulla Sharks. And you'll see that live and exclusive on Wild Turkey Bourbon Super Saturday. Hope you can join us. Kane Evans, and driven back. Plenty of time still left in this contest. Mounties definitely needs to be the next to score. Kurt Kara scooting from acting half. Dragged down from behind. Been a really good quality game. Willis Meehan barging downfield. 3 Mounties racing up. Pangai Jr. was one of them. Lestrange and back to Kane Evans, and unfortunately the football coming out of his grasp. So here's a chance for Mounties, Braith.
That's the opportunity they've needed. Unfortunately for Kane Evans, comes up with an error at a critical time. They've had all the momentum. They've scored the last couple of tries. They've been dominating the second half. They just wanted to get to their kick. And a poor error from Evans gives the opportunity for the Mounties to get themselves back into the match. lost contact with Newtown in the second half and completely been dominating, but a quick try and things change very quickly.
So opportunity for Mounties. Allwood, who's tried really hard today, the 21-year-old. Back to Goldsmith and Guy Jr., who's been 120% today. Straight up the centre he runs. Goldsmith at acting half. Leroy Lars taking on the big Newtown forwards. Lestrange, Willis Meehan, Kane Evans, they converge. And Tom might be injured.
Oh, no.
Left knee. Hopefully it's just a knock.
Doesn't look too good. When the players around react, and you could see Lestrange as he did, he may have heard a noise. As we see, it's... Lestrange goes in low. Oh, you could see it pop out.
Oh, yeah. Couldn't you ever?
You can see the kneecap pop out and then back in. Oh.
That's horrible.
Oh. The other angle, here it is here. Have a look at the left knee. You see here when he hits the ground, Lestrange comes in. And right there. Oh. Wow.
I'll tell you something.
Wow.
There's no way I'm eating tonight.
Well,
That's done me.
that's the game of rugby league. That's what the players put themselves through week in and week out. The possibility of injuries, high contact sport. Look at him, he's straight back on his feet and plays the ball. How tough's that?
That's amazing, isn't it? Mark Nichols, good run. Chance for Mounties. Can they break back? Carr. Good defence, Newtown. Well read as Foster stormed onto the ball. Back to the open side. Carr's going to go to the air. A speculator. There are plenty of blue jerseys there, though, and Brett Lane comes up with it. Back into the field of play. A knock-on called and a changeover.
Yeah, not good enough for the Mounties. It was a beautiful kick from Carr. He put the kick right on the money for his outside men in Allwood and Hawkins. They just couldn't come up with a catch. They had plenty of time.
Push up!
But at the moment, all the footy is going the way of Newtown.
Jonathan Rubin. Centre field, tackled by Goldsmith. Good quality game. Brett Lane to his feet. Lestrange and Willis Meehan. There's Leroy Lars inset on the screen. They're just checking that knee out. You'd think it'd be really sore, wouldn't you? So Newtown take the touch finder towards the eastern side. Sorry, Brett.
No, you're right. I was actually looking to see if Leroy Lars was still on the field. If he was, I wouldn't have been able to believe it. This is the penalty for the hands on the ball for Meehan, and that's a rate. You could tell, you could see the Mountie players were complaining about that call, but that was the right decision from the referee.
Agreed. So Monga is driven back. Here's Berlinden winding up those massive legs. Good defence, Mounties, dragged down by Mark Nichols and Reece Goldsmith. That's how you run the footy. Lestrange out to Tamata, runs to the line, a kick in behind them. Evans out after it. Mounties through Gus Ager. Safe for the time being. It is all Newtown here, dominating.
It is, and when you're on Tamata, second tackle, talk about confidence. That's how good he's feeling today. Heads over to this left-hand edge yet again. Puts in the kick on the second tackle of the set of six. Good kick, Chase. Gets the ball back for his team.
You only hope that Arana Tamata can fulfil his potential in the game, Brafe. You touched on it before. Been at a heap of clubs. Has left under the wrong circumstances at several. Gee, he's got some talent.
He does. He's always had the talent, Tappy. It's all about his attitude. It's how he approaches the game off the field, not so much on it. And if he does that the right way, then he's going to play first grade. There's no doubt about it. He's got all the ability in the world.
Yeah, that was him tipping it on to Kane Evans. Evans wrestled to ground by Matt Allwood. Lestrange at acting half away to Reuben. He had Harris streaming through. The back rower overrunning it though. So Reuben plays it back to Matt Evans. Now Evans gives it on to Meehan. 5 metres out from the Mounties line on tackle 5. Tamata, he's dancing away to Matt Evans, who in turn gives it to Reuben. And you'd have to think that's the ball game. Another try to Newtown, 30 points to 18. Newtown getting try number 7, dominating the match with 57% possession.
And yet again, it's that combination on the left-hand edge. Lestrange goes nowhere else but to Tamata. Tamata throws a long ball out to Evans, who sums up the situation yet again, and Ruben's on the outside for a try. His 4th try in 2 weeks for Ruben. Sorry, 3 weeks. He's had 3 tries in the last 2 weeks. Add that to the tally, that's 4. Beautiful try from Ruben on that left-hand edge. And they're full of confidence out on this left-hand side. They just keep going there no matter what, and they've got the defence in 6s and 7s. They've got no idea what's going on the right-hand side defensive line for the Mounties, and this guy Ruben gets his first try of the afternoon, and a big kick for Newtown coming up, 12 points ahead.
Can you say what you really mean about Mounties' right edge?
Well, they are. It's like they've lost all their confidence. There's Tomato on screen here. He's been superb, and they just keep going to the left-hand side because they know they're going to come up with a result, and they have. Time and time again, they have.
Absolutely. So 7 tries to 3 now. Completions for the Jets, 25 from 32. Mounties, 16 from 23.
You've got to give credit to Newtown and Tamata in particular to keep coming back to the left-hand side. There's some games you play when you're just on, and you know you've got the measure of the opposition, and they've just been persistent, and they've come up with results.
So Matt Evans, another crack at goal from wide out. He's a metre in from the western touchline, pokes at it, and it is away to the right like his previous effort. 30-18 with 9 minutes remaining in this round 12 VB New South Wales Cup match. And that player on screen, Arana Tamata, has really taken the game by the scruff of the neck, hasn't he, the last 25 minutes? The dominant player.
He has. He was good in the first half too, but he just put in a couple of poor kicks. Now he's fixed his kicking game in the second half. He's been so good with the ball. They don't know whether he's going to run or pass. And as I said, the defence has really been struggling with him.
Monga tackled on the far side, couple of metres in from the eastern touchline. Really professional performance from Newtown. Trailing for the majority of the game, didn't really panic. Just worked away at increasing their percentage in terms of completions and their last tackle options. And frankly, every time they visited the Mounties line, they've come up with the desired result. Willis Meehan, great run again up the centre by this fine prospect, Lestrange. Verlinden to the line. Build up ahead of steam, put down by Matt Place. And Matt Allwood, they continue to hammer the right edge of Mounties' defence, as Broken Astor said they should. Gus Ager rather picked up and driven back. They just keep coming down this western corridor, don't they?
There was a dead set 3 metres short side on the left-hand side, and Lestrange still jumps down and puts a kick down that edge. So they'll be having nightmares, the Mounties.
No doubt. Billy Tupu goes for a run and offloads to Foster. He gets the pass away. And out there is Clay Priest, I think it is. Gets to his feet and plays it. Been left behind. Racing in to clean it up to Vitu Pangai Jr. It'll be a Jets ball with 7 minutes to go.
I was just about to say the Mounties need to come up with a play, an attacking play, because they've got to score 2 tries in the last 7 minutes, and unfortunately not a good pass to Coates, and he comes up with an error, and really an uphill battle from here on in. As I mentioned, 7 minutes to go. Newtown in good field position again and full of confidence. Really big defensive set here for the Mounties.
Light rapidly diminishing at Allianz. Floodlights have been turned on. Back end of this New South Wales Cup game. Ruben, who's been good. The Jets custodian, playing against a lot of players that hail from the same club that he was once with. Penalty, which further compounds Mounties' woes. And they're going to take the shot at goal. Soak up a bit of time. Roosters Raiders to follow in the NRL pre-game show 5 o'clock. Mounties players not agreeing with the determination that that tackle was dangerous.
Yeah, I probably agree with them. I don't think it was too dangerous at all. It was quite a solid tackle. Got Ruben on his back, but the right decision by Tomato to take the 2 points, or to try and take the 2 points and get the lead out to 14. And really, you'd think if he kicks this, the game is probably out of reach for the Mounties.
I concur. So Tomato, and it's on its way and successful. That's the penalty goal. 32 plays 18. Puts himself back into kicking after we saw Matt Evans take the previous 2 conversions unsuccessfully. So Newtown trailing at the break. It has been a powerhouse second half by them. And Coach Greg Madison, I would think, really impressed with this today.
Yeah, I think he's coached them well also. I mentioned earlier he brought me and Evans, who have been damaging in attack and defence for Newtown. He brought them on at the same time, and since they've been on in this second half, Newtown have been completely dominating in all aspects.
Tupu did well there, off the short kick-off, racing in off the left flank and getting possession back for his team. So Mounties then through Rodney Coates. Hard and straight, the tackler Kane Evans along with Ryan Verlinden. Goldsmith, he fires it to Matt Place and away to Langy Setu, and now on to Ager. Ager looking for the try line. He's been a lot quieter in the second half. The Mounties fullback eventually gets the ball away. Pangai Jr. got 2 4-pointers in the first half. There's the line. Goldsmith, a dummy, and goes. You saw the intended receiver overran the ball. So he's going to have another chance at playing the football. To Pangai Jr., who has a go. Little kick through, nothing doing. Cleaned up by Newtown. 3.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, that sums up the second half of the Mounties. Even when they've had good field position, they seem to just pass the ball to Pangai Jr. and say, do your best, to be honest. They need more setup around him. They need more options either side of the ruck and also out to that left-hand edge, because it's become quite predictable for Newtown in the second half.
So Jets, centre field, 20 out from their own line. 58% share of possession, Newtown. That stat was sort of seesawing the first 50 minutes in the game.
That was Meehan's 19th hit up of the game.
And every one of them, supreme quality. Big kick downfield to Gus Hagan. Looks for some support from his winger. Mounties late in this game. They've got a long way to go. Hagan picking it up after they played the ball from Hawkins. A tremendous second 40 by Newtown. Carr to the line is a little bit of time on that occasion. Over to Matt Place, who I don't think really wanted the football. Now Goldsmith to Carr. Turns it inside to Jake Foster. It was good enterprising play by Mounties, but it falls apart at the seams. Look out, here's Monga. Monga bursting down the eastern touchline, but the defence comes across and stops his progress. Pangai Jr., the big back rower. Well done to him. Lestrange now onto the chest of Majali. Majali eventually succumbs. Langy Setu and a couple of others in the tackle. Lamada on to Kane Evans. Big lanky lad, isn't he? Hard to tackle. Got the biggest pins in the game. Verlinden charging into the Mounties defensive line. A big surge from the front rower. He's been solid today too. A wrap to Ryan Verlinden in a team with a lot of good performances. Monga now away to Josh Davis for the corner. Has he got it down? Need to see this again. I think Liam Nichols is going to give it. He does. He's happy. Tremendous effort by Davis, who had it all to do, and picks up his second 4-pointer of the afternoon.
Oh, this is unbelievable work from Davis. He finished off superbly in the first half. We thought it couldn't get any better. How about this? Watch him dive. Looks like he's going to go out over the sideline. Does he put his foot into touch? He gets some air. Great try.
Oh, stop it.
Great try.
Stop it.
Good lead-up work. Meehan out the back. You'll see Moga gets a long ball from Kara. Comes back off. Watch the flick pass from Wonga here. Watch this. Looking the other way. Bang. Davis down the short side. Looks for all money to go out. Gets the football down. What a better way to finish. You couldn't finish any better than that. They deserve it, Newtown.
Unbelievable.
Look at this.
The tries we see in the modern game scored like this, defying logic.
Well,
how do you do that?
Since they've taken the corner post, you can touch the corner post. We've seen so many wonderful tries. So athletic. You see it week in and week out, don't you, Tappy? You never used to see the tries that you do see get scored these days.
No. Supreme acrobatics. And Braith, assuming he doesn't kick this, here's a touch of irony. They last met these two sides in round 3. Guess what the score was that day? 36-18.
There you go.
With Mounties on top.
So they've switched it.
Full-time siren has sounded. And the kick away, but to the right of the post. You could probably hear Arana Tamata through the effects microphone, not too impressed with himself. But don't be too hard on yourself. Been a good performance by the Newtown number 7. Look at the Jets faithful. They love their footy team.
You got to give it to the Jets fans. Very loyal they are. Week in and week out, they come out to support their team, and they'll be very happy after that victory from the Newtown side. They were down early, and they fought back and won convincingly in the end.
The matches they play at their traditional ground, Henson Park, they still attract a genuine crowd of several thousand. It's a real retro experience out there, particularly on a Saturday afternoon, and it's great to see the dream being kept alive for the Newtown faithful. As we now check out the stats of the match, 36-18.
Yep, and the big swing there, you can see 59% of possession to Newtown. That explains the second half and the dominance that they did have. Line break 6-3. They definitely had an advantage there to the Newtown Jets, and 21 missed tackles compared to 10 for the Mounties. Shows how they really did struggle in defence as well in that second half.
Yeah, the weak link for Mounties was certainly their right edge. The man of the match today for VB, principal sponsor of the New South Wales Cup, is of course the Newtown 7 Arana Taumata. It was an outstanding performance. After a couple of little blemishes early on in the game, he came back very strongly. Let's have a look at the second half highlights now. And the first try to Evans in the 47th minute.
Yeah, it was good work from Ruben, summed it up. Evans looks like he was going out for all money, but gets the ball down just in time. And once again to this left-hand edge again. Tamata goes across field. Harris runs a good line. Here it is, Ruben, and Evans gets the ball down.
That was a really good piece of play. He was under a lot of pressure. And 57th minute, it was Lane this time.
Yeah, it was Lane, and Evans created the pass there. Harris had a good little turn, offload out the back to Evans, which created the space for the corner. And this kick from Tomato was on the money again for Evans to get his second try of the second half.
So Newtown maintained the pressure. Tomato again. And this time the fullback, Ruben, crossing the stripe for the Newtown Jets. And that really put the game beyond doubt.
And this was the last try of the match here to Davis, and it is the try of the match. You'll see here Monga gets the ball from Kara, steps off his left, watch his flick pass out to Davis, and watch the try here. Bang, can you believe it? Yes, he gets the ball down before he goes out. And Newtown finish on a high.
Do they ever? Really comprehensive performance by the Jets. 36-18. Tries to Davis, he got 2. Evans got 2. Ruben, Lane, Monga, and Harris. 2 kickers used. Evans unsuccessful. Taumata 2 from 7. Pangai Jr. 2 tries, and Setu getting a 4-pointer for Mounties. And Place 3 from 3 with the boot. And well, a really good effort by Newtown, and a pleasure to watch them go through their paces this afternoon.
Oh, without doubt. They had a slow start too, and they let a couple of soft tries in early. We were worried about it. We were concerned. We thought going into half-time, they were probably lucky to be only 4 points behind. But in the second half, full of dominance. Their forwards led from the front. Tamata was great, superb off the back of that. He deserved the man of the match, and this left-hand edge was damaging for Newtown. His combination with Harris, and as you can see here, the fans are loving it.
A wrap also to Heath Lestrange, the Newtown number 9, 36 tackles, was really solid. Hope you enjoyed our coverage. It is the NRL next, the Roosters and the Raiders, the pre-game show to follow this break.